Hey y'all, welcome back to Ascending with Ashley. I'm Ashley. Just want to talk about, I guess this is a collective coffee. I just saw another spiritual person say, don't forget who you are. A lot of the reasons that the system is coming down so hard is because of how much self-awareness a lot of us have gained in the past few years, specifically the ways in which the collective has come into consciousness. And I'm not gonna lie, I got swept up in this fear. I got swept up in it. I've got like 4 bags behind me ready to go. I got back into fight or flight. So yeah, it's super real. It's happening super fast. But this reading that I just saw reminded me that, yeah, a lot of us have already come into consciousness. You can't undo that. You can't undo that. Also, what's different this time? And I mean this time in the sense of going back into, civil rights era, undoing all of the work that's been done for 60 plus years, hundreds of years. We have a global audience. There are folks watching what's happening. We have para-social relationships with other people who are also experiencing Lucy, ow, bitch. Got yoga mat stuck in your nail. God. Okay, my animals are feeling it. Let me go. Anyway, so what's not helpful is talking about the fucking Handmaid's Tale. Alright, can you stop? A lot of people have speculations. A lot of people have ideas. A lot of people are... there's a trend going on TikTok about winter boots. I think it means riots. I'm not quite sure. Don't censor yourself. The state is doing enough of that. And also, reach out to those in your life who are more affected by these things. I reconnected with some folks yesterday. If you are a white person, if you're an ally of any sort of marginalized community, be an accomplice as well, right? But really hold space if they trust you enough to have space held. If not, just let it be known that you're there, you know? Keep your documents on you. Make copies of everything, myself included. I don't have any printer paper. I was going to do that yesterday and I forgot that I don't have any paper. I would have at least 3 copies of everything, you know? I think that what's different when we've all come into consciousness, we've reached this go no fucks given sort of attitude as a collective. But that doesn't mean that we willingly want to participate in our own extinction, right? The reality is, and this is going to be harsh, folks have been talking about this, putting the pieces together in the past few days. What is today, the 24th? It hasn't been 4 days. Oh my gosh. Saw a clip of Trump doing coke while he's signing all of these to keep himself going. He didn't know that he was being recorded, and he went like this to his assistant. Super. We already know that DeSantis does coke. I would say, okay, so the truth is that, okay, oligarchy. So we are now under the control explicitly, right? It's been leading up to this point for decades and decades and decades, right? The elite and the powers that be have always kept their power within themselves, right? The Illuminati, the Freemasons, the elite, I don't know other words for their shit. But the power has always been held by people. If you look at it, there's some sort of chart that has the bloodline of every American president, and they've all been related, including Obama, even if he is black. I like to think about Trump being a cameo in Home Alone 2 when things get a little too serious, because then it's like, you know what, you weren't the star of that movie, you're a loser. But then I think about side quest, then I think about that video that came out with Kim Kardashian that supposedly Travis Barker produced at Christmas time, and how Macaulay Culkin was in it, and I'm so sad because I thought Macaulay Culkin had liberated himself from the ruling elite, but apparently he's still stuck. I know that nobody's free, including these celebrities. Everything they do is puppeteered by someone else. I know we're all over the place. But anyway, when you come into consciousness and when you get to a level of understanding and, you know, your own spirituality is intact, you may be... I'm looking at my hair. You may be having a Britney Spears moment. You may want to shave your head. You may want to dye your hair. You may feel like you need to get tattoos or piercings or do some other self-mutilation. Totally get it, right? When times get tough, that's what we do. Especially millennials. I'm getting myself a tattoo gun so I can... I'm just going to tap myself up this year. Fuck these assholes. Anyway. Oh... I hope I can do a sleeve, because I've always wanted a sleeve. You know, YOLO. We're in the times of YOLO. For real though, it's very hard to stay in a space of holding space and compassion for the very real reality that people are facing, and also continue building and living your life and finding resistance in joy and laughter and rest. It feels counterproductive, it feels hypocritical, it feels gross at times to know that you have the freedom to continue to move when others don't. I want to acknowledge that. I get it. I feel it too. But, right, both. We have a responsibility as people who are able to move freely, if your car is working, to continue building, right? And I'm gonna be going back into collective energy today. We're gonna be doing some readings and getting some guidance. I haven't done that in a few days. I've kind of been told to just wait, but I finally feel like today I feel ready to do this. Know that the ways in which we've shown up for each other, there are a lot more people in the movement now, I believe, than there ever have been in the past. I believe that the lines of division in which the system and powers that be have wanted us to continue facilitating amongst ourselves, I think we've really found common ground more so than ever before. Now with that, that doesn't necessarily mean everyone's ready to take the front lines, right? But it does mean that people are more conscious of, more aware of struggle, right? And more willing to participate in resistance. Oh my god, can you fuckers stop? Knock it off, Marley. No, you're not gonna sit up here and do all that. Asshole. Hey, Hey. Anyway, cat fight right here. Right here. I don't know where I was. Again, I would say train your bodies. Like everyone on TikTok is talking about how to cover your face with a t-shirt. Sure, that's cool, but everyone doesn't need to be doing the same thing. TikTok has been very nationalized. I haven't had anyone international, any Palestine shit. I haven't had any international folks on my page since they changed it on Saturday. That was just Saturday. Wow. What a week. Oh my god. No, that also. Yes, he's signing these things. But this is the work of Alec. This is the work of Kufi. This is the work of, the Project 2025. This has been an organized effort for decades for white supremacy to remain in control and in power. But while that has been happening, again, we the people have been able to, put our differences aside. And, I think for the first time in ever human history, and I feel like that's another reason why the hammer is coming down so hard, why he's making a point of doing these things. And remember, he had 4 years in between time to make sure when he got back into this position that this is how things went. And he was bought and sold, It's all about money. Remember, money's not real. So if money's not real, and if we're coming together in ways that, are historically amazing, like people haven't come together, right? That's what we've been talking about with Palestine. We've talked about how humanity is mobilizing together, right? Globally, internationally and nationally, across race lines, across religion lines, across state lines, because we know that shit doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. To each their motherfucking own, right? Fear is valid, and also fear needs to be transmuted into action. Again, myself included. So I say when you're feeling unable to move in that fight or flight or fawn response, acknowledge it, recognize it, breathe through it. I've really been in that space the past 3 days. I'm very outspoken, as you know, so I'm fearing that. But I also know, with the privilege I do hold, even if I do have a uterus, I still have white skin, that it's important that I use my voice. And I would never not use my voice, right? Except for, like the past 37 years of my life when I was completely silenced. So remember that we have all accumulated and integrated power within us and around us and together. And again, the roles. Not everyone's role is to report back on what this man is doing. And, there's a fine line of what is productive and what is inhibiting, So I'm going to end this here because I just got in I'm being heavily censored, whatever, fuck up. You're not on the right side of history and you can fuck up. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to my surveillance buddy. Anyway, we'll be back. We're going to tap into collective energy. We're going to get some guidance, and we're going to remember and stay in a space of, not that we're greater than this, but in a space of, we are able to transmute this energy. We are able to make change. We are able, we have the ability, we have the capacity, we have the relationships, we have the drive, the motivating factors, the love for each other, right? Fuck this loser. Fuck all these cronies. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. And we may have to do it, you know, people are already experiencing it, but it's time to not let this go very far. I don't know what that looks like. I don't have the answers. I am going to channel the higher realms, though, because they are here supporting, even if it feels like they're not. Okay? Again, remember to breathe when you feel in a space of darkness about these things. Take a break. Refresh your algorithm. Get it on something else that you enjoy. When things are starting to get too heavy, you know, go to like cookie decorating TikTok or something. I don't know. Like, you have to find balance, though. Otherwise, you are going to let the enemy into your own energy, myself included. It's a practice, constant practice. All right.